fake it till you make it, right? Because we're both today like,
I know. But we're happy to be here.
oh yeah. This is probably
This is like
what's
a
gonna
break from our
yeah
reality.
This is probably what's gonna bring me back the fuck up today. Cheers, or like double
Are you
fisting
having?
it.
Are you having wine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm like Julie's having hard liquor. She
Oh.
must be.
No, I mean I could, but no, dude. But yeah, for me to be having hard liquor, it's something else. Something else.
Guys, do you notice something incredible about today? Specifically, me and Julie. Our eyes are crisp white.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my god, they are like brilliant today.
They work.
Those
drops
drops
work.
Yeah.
Lumify.
Yeah.
Lumify sponsor.
Sponsor us.
I will wear. I wear them all the time. So, because I have just chronically dead eyes. Okay. Anyways. All right. So today, what are we talking about, Jules?
We're talking today about MK motherfucking Ultra. Why did this freeze?
Oh.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, for all you patrons, patronuses, because it's Patreon. And we wanted to give you guys a very special one because there's a lot of cool medical stuff. Like, not cool, that's an insensitive word. Maybe take that back. Interesting medical stuff that happened during MK Ultra that we just gotta talk about. And it's one of those that it's like a very, it took me time to research because of course there's a million things about MK Ultra. It's not just medical. So, this could be a whole, there's people that have whole podcasts on MK Ultra. So I ciphered it down for us to give you the medical aspects of what happened during MK Ultra, which is incredibly fascinating and scary and many, many things. So let's talk about it, Doc.
Yes. Let's talk about it. If you guys see me doing this, I pulled a muscle and it's hurting me. But anyways.
It happens to the best of us. We're 34 now. We're millennials.
Yeah, exactly. Everything hurts. So, all right. What is MK Ultra? So MK Ultra, officially known as Project MK Ultra, was a covert and illegal program of experiments on human subjects designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, so the CIA.
And it's pretty much said that special things. I was gonna say special things. Stranger Things.
Oh, I was like, what's special things?
Well, special. No, that Stranger Things was
Kinda
inspired
like
from MK Ultra. What is that thing? Okay, sorry. Yeah, ADD kicked in, and I was like, "There's a bird right outside this window," and it was a red cardinal. It was very pretty. It was on my rose, and then I scared it off because that's me. Anyway,
there's like a meme on Instagram, I think it was, that I saw it, that it's like, you've reached your mid-30s when you unexpectedly like realize that you're bird watching.
Yep, that's me every day now. I've just went straight from millennial to grandma now. I'm like into birds. I'm into gardening. I'm into all those things. Everyone say hi to Brownie.
Hey, Brownie.
Okay, no. We acknowledge your presence and that's it.
Oh, I'm gonna get allergies.
Stop. Sit.
Ooh.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
continuing.
So it started in 1953 and was officially halted in 1973. The program aimed to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. The methods included the administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, and various forms of torture. The experiments were also conducted without the subject's consent.
Yeah.
Often an unwilling U.S. and Canadian citizens were also part of this. So MK Ultra has been notorious for its violation of ethical standards and the rights of individuals.
Yeah. A lot of bad stuff was happening there. Every sort of experiment.
It's
like
torture. It's
exactly
literally torture.
They were just experimenting on people. Period.
Yeah.
And it's like all these crazy. They thought of something crazy. They're like, yeah, let's experiment.
Experiment it, on them.
So, where did this come from? So, in the 1940s, during World War II, Nazi researchers carried out interrogation experiments on detainees within Auschwitz and the Chow camps. They utilized a range of substances, including barbiturates, morphine, derivatives, and hallucinogens like mescaline. Did I say that right? Okay, good. Thank God. On Jewish individuals and Soviet prisoners of war to try and create a serum that would suppress the subject's free will. So in essence, they wanted to make these soldiers, like robotic soldiers, out of these people that they would capture. Horrific, just absolutely horrific. So historian Stephen Kinzer suggested that the CIA's MKUltra project was an extension of these Nazi practices, especially since many German scientists were recruited into the US through Operation Paperclip. Listen, this is a tangent, but now that Operation Paperclip came out, it's fascinating, honestly. Like, if you guys haven't heard of Operation Paperclip, do a little bit of a deep dive in it. Maybe do it through TikTok, so that it's like just fed to you. Really good to just know a little bit about it. And it's pretty much the US. Well, I'm going to go into it now. But the tangent that I wanted to take is that in the midst of all of this, because there's a lot of heaviness. So let me bring some light into this. You know how in TikTok a couple of months ago, there was like this trend of, oh, what's your Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, but they got it wrong. I really feel, at least for millennial men, like my husband and other ones in around our age, it's not the Roman Empire, it's World War II.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I catch him watching World War II documentaries all the time, like movies. Oh, yeah. Do you agree with me? My computer agrees with me. Yeah, as you can see, Apple apparently agrees that yes, World War II is really the real Roman Empire for at least millennial men. Maybe Roman Empire was for like boomers or something, but like for millennial men, he's become a see how I've become a grandmother and like bird watching and gardening and all that. No, all he does now is watch like freaking World War II documentaries and like movies and stuff like that. Which, don't get me wrong, like Saving Private Ryan, amazing movie, and all that. Like there's a lot of really good movies. But my God, dude,
Pearl Harbor.
I feel like I want to watch that movie now.
I love that movie so much.
But today's not the day. I'll probably just cry even harder today. He's back. He never died. Oh my God. How are you going to pick?
I know. Terrible.
How could she pick?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I'm always going to be a Ben Affleck person, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm Josh Hartnett. He's so good looking. If he was there.
So is Ben Affleck.
If he was there to pick up the pieces.
I know.
And he took in the kids and everything. He just was. Anyway, wow, big tangent. Anyway. All right, so back to Project Paperclip. So Project Paperclip was a covert U.S. intelligence program that operated after World War II. Its purpose was to recruit and bring more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians from the former Nazi Germany to the U.S. for government employment. This initiative took place between 1945 and 1959. So they were pretty much like, in order for us to beat them, we got to know how they think, what they're doing, so that's pretty much what happened. So the U.S. Office of Strategic Services showed interest in similar drug-induced interrogation programs starting in 1943, aiming to develop a drug that could elicit unrestrained honesty from subjects, so like a truth serum. This led to the U.S. Navy's Project Chatter, all in caps, in 1947, which marked the first instance of LSD testing on humans. By 1950, the CIA, led by General Walter Bedell Smith, began a sequence of interrogation projects with human subjects, starting with Project Bluebird, later renamed Project Artichoke, in 1951.
It's a lot of project names.
So that's why I was then Artichoke.
Project Paperclip, Project Artichoke, Project Bluebird.
Why Artichoke? I mean, I'm sure there's a reason to it. I didn't go down that tangent. But anyway, under Brigadier General Paul F. Gaynor, Project Artichoke explored whether a person could be manipulated into performing an act of assassination against their will. Unbeknownst to the agents, they were administered drugs like morphine, mescaline, and LSD to induce amnesia. The project also considered using viruses, such as dengue fever, as disabling agents.
This is, like, insane.
Isn't it fascinating?
Yeah.
Like, this is a rabbit hole that you could stay in for the rest of your life. MKUltra and Project Paperclip and all this bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no wonders people have podcasts about just this.
Yeah, just one of these projects.
Yeah.
You have, I don't know how many episodes in that, It's just like, it's incredible. They were trying to do the truth serum. They were trying to use viruses back then in the 50s to mental manipulation for these people.
Yeah.
Like, they were trying to create like the perfect soldier, robotic, like,
Yeah, assassinate someone, just,
sleeper cells.
Yeah.
Literally sleeper cells. In that, like, you're living your normal life and then you say a word, I don't know, petunia, and then all of a sudden turns into an assassin.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all those theories that are out there, it comes from this. Like this is pretty much the basis out of all those movies and all those things. It's crazy. Anyway, so why did they make this?
Yes. So the CIA's MKUltra project, initiated by the director Alan Dulles, I'm just going to say Dulles, and led by Sidney Gottlieb. God, these names.
I mean, they're German and all this bunch of stuff.
Can't you just have I don't know, like
Smith?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, okay, so the CIA MKUltra project, initiated by director Alan Dulles and led by Sidney Gottlieb, started on April 13th, 1953, with the goal of developing mind control techniques. This was the response to the suspected use of such methods by the Soviets and others during the Korean War. So the project included efforts to manipulate foreign leaders and create a perfect truth drug. Despite the destruction of most records in 1973, it's known that over 150 sub-projects were funded. Yeah. More projects.
Projects under the projects.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Project Palm of Hearts. What? Heart of Palm.
See, this is the episode we needed to start on today.
Yeah, I know. Project Heart of Palms.
Project Papaya.
Yeah, papaya.
Project Manguito.
Yeah, Project Guayaba. Guava. So, just more projects. How do they keep track of all these projects?
I don't know.
What committee was approving these projects?
How do you keep track?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jesus. Anyway.
So it's known that over 150 sub-projects were funded, exploring various aspects such as mind control and interrogation techniques. The projects reflected the era's intense anti-communist sentiment and the CIA's focus on gaining an interrogation advantage during the Cold War.
Stop it. Lord.
All right, tell me what LSD is.
All right, so here we're going to get to the nitty gritty because LSD, this was its moment.
Lord Jesus, he's on
and
one
he's
today.
trying to have his moment. So LSD was having its superstar moment in MKUltra. This is when the CIA found out about LSD and they were like, we need to tap in on that. We need to explore this. Something's gonna come out. Like we need it. We need it. So LSD is a potent psychedelic drug that can produce short-term and long-term effects on your mind and body. LSD stands for, oh boy, okay, here we go. Good luck for me. Lysergic acid I should know how to say this. Diethylamide.
Diethylamide. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Lysergic acid diethylamide.
It's been a while since I've taken
LSD.
chemistry.
Just call it LSD.
Yeah, that's what it stands for, guys. So anyway, a chemical derived from a fungus that grows on grains like rye. That was taken from the definition.
Yeah, one.
Which rye? Rye number 1.
Oh, don't make me laugh so hard.
Okay. So it grows on grains like rye.
I can't not unsee the one now.
Me too. And I almost done it again.
Okay, so LSD that grows on rye.
It's just simple, your everyday rye. Very vanilla rye,
Vanilla rye.
So LSD is typically taken in the form of a blotter tab, a small piece of paper. This is just the definition of it. I can't make this shit up.
Blotter.
Yeah, like
what? The heck's a blotter? What's a blotter tab? I can barely look at you. I'm like... Did you see me? I was like...
I know. Hold on. I gotta... There, so you don't have to turn that much. So the blotter tabs is the dude, you've seen them in the movies. Every time somebody takes LSD, that it's like the little thin thing that they put it on their...
It's a dissolvable paper. Okay.
Exactly. But why they have to fancy it up and be like, oh, blotter tab. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, blotter tab. A small piece of paper that is soaked in the LSD solution and placed under the tongue. Oh, I'm here like, no, it's so under the tongue. Some of the effects of LSD include visual hallucinations, such as seeing flashes of light, distorted images, and altered reality. Freaks me the fuck out. Intensified senses, such as hearing colors or seeing sounds. How the fuck do you hear colors?
I mean, we're talking about this is a
crazy.
hallucinogen.
No, I get
You
it.
know, so this is like complete alteration of your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
You're seeing things, you're hearing things. My thing is, well, I'm going to let Julie finish with
feel like
what you can.
Like the color of red has to be screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you see red and just screaming.
I'm going to let Jules like finish like all these side effects and then I'll comment on what I need to say.
And then seeing sounds. That's I could understand that one better than the hearing of colors. But anyways, mood swings ranging from euphoria to anxiety to paranoia to panic. Distorted sense of time and space, feeling detached from the body or having an out-of-body experience. Blending of sensory perceptions such as feeling what you see or taste and what you hear.
Yeah. So my thing here is that they are using LSD, right, to create this truth serum or potentially use this as a
Controlling people.
like a control, you know?
Yeah.
So here is, I don't know, soldier number 1, right? And then they give him this truth serum or LSD, right? And then they're like, I want you to assassin this person. What makes you think that he's going to go? First of all, remember who this person is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're tripping balls.
Why are you giving a weapon to someone on LSD?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Third of all, with all these hallucinations, he might think that the person he needs to kill is you.
Exactly. Which probably happened.
So what do? You just like give him the blotter tab and you're like, give him the gun and you're like, okay, bye. Like, get out of harm's way. You know? Yeah, I go just like, drink some water, bye.
I mean, hence,
point the gun the other way. Like, you know, I'm just like,
hence experiments, I guess. You
I'm
know,
just thinking about it. And I was like, why would they do that?
It's the whole reason why it's a project. They were
If
experimenting.
anything, you want to be like so keen, like so sharp on what you're doing. Now, I know like before we were like kind of reading, they also gave these things to induce amnesia. So I'm not sure if maybe what they were trying to do is to like have these people do things against their will and then give them these drugs so that they would completely forget what they actually did.
Yeah. And then there was,
I don't know, maybe that was Project Papaya. I don't know.
Exactly.
There was a lot of different things there.
I mean, they were just trying to find a way to control these subjects however way they could. The other way was trying to make them like a sleeper cell. But again, they're fucking seeing sounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know.
Seeing sounds?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Seeing sounds.
Seeing sounds or hearing colors. It's literally trippy as balls. And I could kind of see more seeing sounds than hearing colors. Unless it's like, for instance, if I had to like pretend red would be screaming, blue would probably be snoring. I don't know, but you can imagine that? Like, you're just, I mean, colors is everywhere. Unless you're like colorblind, then good luck. But that'd be crazy. Anyway, so the effects of LSD usually start within 20 to 90 minutes. Okay, so you don't have to run out of the room. 20 to 90 minutes of taking the drug and can last for up to 20 hours. So you could be freaking seeing sounds for 20 hours and hearing colors. Anyway.
Nope. Not for me.
Yeah, I'm stuck on those two things. Out of all the things, there's
Hearing
a million
colors.
things, but those things really
colors.
stuck. So the effects can vary depending on the dose, the person, the setting, and other factors. LSD can also cause unpredictable and sometimes unpleasant psychological effects, such as flashbacks, nightmares, confusion, psychosis, and suicidal thoughts. This is where LSD has always been incredibly scary for me, because I've met people that have done LSD and they're like, oh yeah, like LSD, I regret the most out of all the drugs that I've taken because I still have flashbacks to this day, like 5 years later, something like that, crazy amount later, flashbacks. And they're like, one person had told me like the example that they were working one day in the office and they saw like roaches coming out of the air vent, and they knew it wasn't real. It was part of an LSD flashback. I'm like, thank you. You should be part of the DARE program, because I will never touch that shit in my life.
Yeah.
For just that one example right there.
Yeah. No.
5 years later, and you're just minding your own business, regular Tuesday, in your cubicle, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, shit. Hello, darkness.
You're not real.
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
No. All right. Anyway, so LSD is obviously illegal in most countries and has no approved medical use in the US. It is classified as a Schedule 1 drug, meaning it has a high potential for abuse and no accepted medical value. LSD can also interact with other drugs such as alcohol, antidepressants, stimulants, and cause dangerous or harmful effects. LSD is a powerful and unpredictable substance that can have profound effects on your mind and body. I mean, clearly, if it's 5 years later and you're still seeing roaches coming out of a freaking air vent, like, fuck right off with that.
All right, so how does LSD affect the brain? All right, so we're going to jump into a little bit of more of like the brain chemistry.
Yeah, because clearly it's fucking with something in there.
Yeah. So LSD affects the brain by stimulating a particular receptor for the neurotransmitters serotonin, called 5-HT2A.
And if you forgot the recent episode that we did, serotonin is one of those like happy, feel good.
It's your feel good hormone. Yeah. So this receptor is involved in regulating mood, perception, cognition, and consciousness. So LSD also alters the communication patterns between different brain regions. If you've seen our different episodes of the brain, you know that there's a cortex for everything. Okay.
Everything.
So basically, LSD is going to change the way that these cortexes and regions talk to each other. Okay.
Yep.
Breaking down the barriers that normally separate sensory, emotional, and cognitive processes. So this can lead to hallucinations, synesthesia. Synesthesia is just like altered feelings. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and not altered feelings like emotional, like pain and all those things. Okay. Right? Synesthesia?
I think, wasn't synesthesia when you could like hear, when you're hearing music and you could see it type of thing?
Synesthesia. Hold on a second. Because there's
some
a lot of
people,
sthesias.
Yeah, because some people are able...
When your brain routes sensory information through multiple unrelated senses, causing you to experience more than one sense simultaneously.
That's very broad, but okay. All right, there's that.
I
really thought that it was like, those people that they listen to music and they
I'm
could
thinking
see
about something else and I
something.
can't remember it in my brain right now. It's way too many medical words in my brain. But anyways, LSD could do that too.
Yeah.
But yes, so what Google is saying, so synesthesia is basically your brain interpreting all emotions all at once just from a different sensory input that probably didn't spark that.
So like if you touch something, you heard.
You heard, exactly.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So altered sense of time and space and also mystical experiences. That's the one that like kind of gives me the most anxiety. Like I cannot imagine not having a sense of time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Can you imagine
That's
this person's like, oh yeah, I should be coming off of this already, and it's been like days, and they're like, it's been 20 minutes. Like, that to me is the part that gives me anesthesia. Like
that is
anesthesia.
rough.
Gives me anxiety.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that gives me crazy anxiety.
Hell yeah. It's like one of those dreams that like, that you lived a whole freaking life in a dream and you wake up and it was just like, I don't know, 15 minutes. Have you ever had a dream like that? It's like, it's crazy. I mean, I have a lot of dreams, but I've had dreams that like I finally make it back to falling asleep and then I wake up and I'm like, man, that was like the longest fucking dream ever. It's got to be morning. Negative. It was probably like
negativo
20 minutes ago that I woke up.
Yeah.
It's like, it's got to be the trippiest thing. Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So LSD can also affect the brain's plasticity. So plasticity means that it's almost like you are training your like little neurons, okay, to learn new things.
Like
okay,
the rewiring of it.
Yeah, like you rewire certain, it's hard to kind of explain, but you have little nerve cells and then you can teach these nerve cells to do other things just with one stimulus, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it can affect the brain's plasticity or its ability to change. Okay, it's just right there.
Change it. No,
Change
but
and
you
adapt.
no, but you said it a lot more elaborate.
Yeah. So some studies suggest that LSD may promote the growth of new brain cells and connections, which could have implications to treating mood and anxiety disorders. Check out our anxiety and depression episode.
Yeah, we did it.
We have so many episodes. 2 in 1 episode. We have so many episodes that it's hard to kind of tag back.
I know.
But we've talked about this, how LSD is being used in studies in very, 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 very low doses to help out with depression and anxiety.
Yeah. It's currently right now in a spotlight for that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
So, however, more research is needed to understand the long-term effects of LSD and on its effects on the brain and the potential for therapeutic applications.
Yeah. So now that we know what LSD is, all those things on current times, why and how was it used in MKUltra back then? So let's bring it back. So initial CIA operations concentrated on LSD-25, specifically that one, because there's like a lot of forms of LSD, like the ones that we're using now to try to maybe see how it could help with depression, anxiety, and whatever. And so scientists have been able to break it down, change it a bit, forming different formulations. But back then in the CIA, what they used was specifically LSD-25. So, and it became a key element in numerous MKUltra endeavors. The agency was curious if it could compel Soviet spies to defect involuntarily and if the Soviets had the capacity to similarly influence CIA agents. So again, all about spying, who could manipulate who could infiltrate which government and like when. Pretty much that was the foundation of all of this. So in 1976, John D. Marks revealed that through the Freedom of Information Act documents that the CIA in 1953 contemplated buying 10 kilograms of LSD, equating to 100 million doses, to prevent other nations from monopolizing the supply. It was confirmed that the CIA did acquire LSD from Sandoz Laboratory in Switzerland. With the commencement of Project MKUltra in April 1953, the CIA undertook experiments that involved dosing non-consenting individuals such as mental patients, prisoners, and others deemed unable to resist. In one extreme instance, a mental patient in Kentucky was subjected to LSD for 174 consecutive days. Remember, LSD lasts for up to 20 hours, okay? There's 24 hours in one day.
Yep.
So this patient potentially was LSD free for 4 hours, maybe, depending. Could have overlapped easily. For 174 consecutive days. Jesus, that brain must have been fried. The project also included dosing CIA staff, military members, doctors, and the general public to observe their reactions. Just to, shits and giggles. Let's see what happens, you know? Crazy. So the objective was to discover substances that could either coerce confessions or completely reset an individual's memory to program them as an obedient agent. Military personnel were warned of court martials for disclosing these experiments. The administration of LSD and other drugs often occurred without the subject's informed consent, contravening the Nuremberg Code established post-World War II. Affected veterans are currently pursuing legal and financial compensation for their involvement. The Nuremberg Code, because I had no idea what this was because I'm an ignorant American, emerged after World War II during doctors' trial. It outlines ethical principles for human experimentation, emphasizing voluntary consent, minimizing harm, and qualified investigators. The code remains significant in research ethics still today. Operation Midnight Climax. So now we're going from projects to operations. So Operation Midnight Climax. That sounds, but anyway.
I'm just kidding.
Like, come on, you know, like how, anyway, orchestrated by the CIA involved setting up brothels in San Francisco. And that's exactly why it was called that.
Yeah.
The goal was to secretly dose men with LSD, observe their reactions through one-way mirrors, and record the sessions. In other experiments, subjects were unknowingly given LSD and interrogated under bright lights. I mean, I have a migraine right now, but my migraine just intensified thinking of that.
Yeah.
These subjects included CIA employees, U.S. military personnel, and suspected Cold War agents. Tragically, long-term harm and deaths resulted from these unethical practices, and additionally, heroin addicts were enticed with more heroin to participate in LSD experiments. Because, So Ken Keasley, I think it's Keasley, known for his assassination. Known for his association with figures like Richard Alpert and Allen Ginsberg, volunteered for a CIA-funded study under MKUltra at the Menlo Park Veterans Hospital. The project explored the effects of various psychoactive drugs, including LSD, psilocybin, mescaline, cocaine, AMT, and DMT on individuals. Sidney Gottlieb and other chemists behind MKUltra envisioned using LSD for covert operations, recognizing the difference between lab testing and real-world scenarios. He conducted experiments where unsuspecting individuals were given LSD in everyday situations or settings. The surprise acid trips became an occupational hazard for CIA operatives. I mean, yeah. Tragically, the adverse reactions occurred, including an operative who, after receiving LSD in his morning coffee, experienced psychosis and ran through Washington, D.C., seeing monsters in passing cars.
Poor guy. Just having his
Jesus
morning
Christ,
coffee.
bro. Like, I mean,
he's waking up.
trying to
He's
fucking
like,
wake up.
all right.
Trying to go to work.
Coffee. Yeah, go to work. And this guy just had the worst next 20 hours of his life.
See, running down Washington, D.C., seeing monsters. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway,
This guy's never drinking coffee ever.
Never. I don't blame him either. The experiments persisted even after Frank Olson, an army chemist who had never taken LSD, was covertly dosed and later fell to his death from a New York City hotel room. Olson had previously expressed moral doubts about the project and sought to resign from the CIA. So this is my opinion. My opinion.
They killed him.
They fucking killed him.
I don't think you're alone in that opinion.
You don't like it? Let's dose you with it. See what happens. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You're the CIA. Be a little more slick than that.
Yeah.
My opinion, don't come for me. Now my phone's gonna be tapped and shit, but anyway. So some of the subjects agreed to take part in the experiments, but they seemed to be targeted for more severe tests. For example, 7 African American men who were addicted to drugs at the Kentucky Addiction Research Center. Research. For example, 7 African American men who were addicted to drugs at the Kentucky Addiction Research Center of the National Institute of Mental Health received LSD for 77 days in a row. The researchers of MKUltra later abandoned LSD as too unreliable for its effects.
Wow.
They lost interest in the idea that LSD was the key, open quotations, the key that would open the universe. Close quotations. I mean, it sounds like whoever thought that was under LSD. Yeah. But it remained
thinking the same thing. I was like,
100%. But it remained a part of their secret arsenal. So they're like, we'll keep it, but let's just stop for right now. However, by 1962, the CIA and the Army created a series of super hallucinogens, like highly praised BZ. Okay, so capital BZ, which was believed to have more potential as a mind control weapon. We're continuing with the mind control. This led to the loss of support from many scholars and private researchers, and LSD research became less important overall.
All right. That was a long one, Jules.
That was a long one. Hence why at the end I was already like,
I was gonna give you a break. And then I saw that was the last one. I was like,
yeah. That's what I was like. I'm gonna finish strong. Let's finish this.
All right. So let's talk about other drugs that were used during this whole entire project.
Yeah, because LSD was a spotlight, but it wasn't the only one.
Yeah. So one of the methods they explored was injecting a person with a barbiturate. So a barbiturate is, I'm not going to talk about the mechanism of action, but it's a class of medication that we use. A very common one is phenobarbital. Okay. So that's one that we use for seizures. Mainly for seizures, but we use it for some other people use it for other things. But it's a sedative. Okay. Or it has sedative effects, I should say. Okay, so they basically would get the barbiturate in one arm and an amphetamine in the other.
So the opposite.
Yes, so the exact opposite.
Fantastic. Jesus Christ.
Imagine we're gonna put in a downer. Oh, we're gonna put in an upper. I don't
at the same time,
at the same
in
time,
different
one
arms,
arm,
like,
yeah. And then the
jeez.
person received the barbiturate first, and then they started to drift off. Then the amphetamines were injected. They also experimented with heroin, morphine, temazepam, which was called MK Search. So temazepam is just another class of drugs, but a lot of people know these as the benzos. Okay, so Xanax, lorazepam, Ativan, which is lorazepam. But anyways, but yes, also sedative effects as well. Mescaline, psilocybin, scopolamine, which we usually do for a lot of, we can use it for a lot of nausea, or if we have a lot of like car sickness or motion sickness.
Okay.
Alcohol, okay, and also sodium pentothal, okay.
Can I just say that brown works with you?
Brown?
Yeah. It's just your...
Yo, you mean this?
Well, even your face.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, like my hair brown.
No, but like even your eye, I don't know. Like you did something with your eyes and it's just everything. It's
Well, I
just
have makeup from the baptism.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. But there's
I
like this
honestly don't know
brown...
what I put, but
I don't know, but there's a brown effect. It's totally working for you. Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat this. I don't know what I used today.
But I'm going to repeat it.
But I put my makeup on like at 6 o'clock in the morning and I was like,
Damn, man, it looks great.
thanks. No, yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy how long it lasted?
Yeah, what did you use?
Hold on a second. And let me just tell you, I highly recommend the products that I used because I had a torrential downpour
Yeah, I know.
on
It's
me
been a flood watch,
today.
bro. I was like
Julie,
thinking
when I
of you
tell
guys.
you that I was soaked, my car seat
Yeah.
is still soaked.
Oh, fuck.
My whole car seat. I feel like you can actually kind of feel it on my jeans that they're like
little
kind
bit,
of
a
like
little bit.
húmedo
Yeah, yeah.
because of sitting
Yes,
in
I
the
was
car
just touching
seat.
her ass.
Yeah, it's fine. Just fine. But yeah,
Jeez.
torrential downpour. I had an umbrella. Why? Why have an umbrella? The rain was coming at me horizontally. Okay, horizontally, not up, down, sideways. Okay, so it was just, and then I had to get Nora into the car. Bueno, I took a picture of how I looked. Look at my hair. I know. We both got. She didn't get so soaked because I didn't want her to get sick.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got soaked so that she wouldn't get soaked. But please look, that's water like on my face.
Okay, so what the hell did you use? Nothing happened to your face.
Nothing happened to my face.
What did you use? Is it a setting spray?
I think it was a
powder?
setting spray. To
Which
be
one is it?
honest, the Charlotte Tilbury.
Really? Girl, I'm hopping on that right now, bro. I'm not even playing.
It was a torrential downpour. I've gone to a baptism. I had lunch. I changed, and it's still looking good. I haven't even powdered yet.
Okay, I need to get it immediately.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Immediately, I'm getting that.
And it was funny that you say that because I was driving to the baptism and I looked at my face and I'm like, I feel so gross and those pictures are gonna come out horrible. My hair was, imagine short hair and torrential downpour. I had just poofy, like lion, poofy, not even puffy, poofy. Okay, because it's worse when it's poofy. Okay, so but I was driving and I'm like, I look like shit, but I can really recommend these.
Charlotte Tilbury. I know you're sponsoring Susie Wolf and you're in F1 and not F1, but like her academy and all that. You're doing big things. Super proud. Like, oh my God, you're amazing for that. But if you want to like throw a little attention to us, a little podcast here, sponsor us.
Honestly,
We love your
girl,
stuff.
that was one of the worst torrential downpours that
was
have come
thinking
on
of
top of
it.
me. I can't remember the last time I got poured on like that. And I got in the car. My car seat is still like my seats
Your
are
actual
still
seat,
wet.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was thinking of you. It was raining, and I'm like, God, I hope it's like indoors, everything that they're doing, because this is bad.
And then Nora got scared.
Of course.
Because of how much it was thundering and lightning and
It was bad.
how strong the water was. She got scared, so she didn't want to enter the car. So I had to grab her and like
God, everything
into
was
the
against you.
car. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm getting fucking soaked. And it was just the water was just and I was like, fuck. And then I got into the car and then I looked and I forgot to lock the door. So I had to
Key. Like, this is peak Yvette. Peak
get
Yvette.
out of the car.
And it's peak Yvette right there.
It was terrible. It was honestly awful. But look, I made it.
No. I mean, incredible.
All right. Well,
Incredible. Anyway, so back
all right,
to
barbs, the barbs.
The barbs.
Okay, so barbiturates are a class of drugs that are derived from barbituric acid. They are used to slow down the activity of the brain and nervous system. They can, which is what we see those sedatives, right? Like that's sedation. They can have medical uses such as treating anxiety, insomnia, seizures, and anesthesia, but they can also be addictive and dangerous in high doses. They're not commonly prescribed today, but there are some safer alternatives available.
Yeah.
So amphetamines are a class of drugs that stimulate the central nervous system. So amphetamines are the ones that we're going to see like Adderall. Okay, that's like the most common one. Yeah, speed. Exactly.
Okay.
So basically you have like two total extremes of classes of medication.
Yeah, that are doing completely different things in your mind at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So it stimulates the nervous system, the central nervous system, and increases the activity in certain brain chemicals such as dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. They can have medical uses such as treating attention deficit disorder, ADHD. That's why I mentioned Adderall. Narcolepsy, that's a big one. Narcolepsy is a sleep disorder. So you fall asleep at random times, triggered by random things.
Yeah.
And then they give you these amphetamines, these stimulants, so that you can actually stay awake.
But then at the same time, these people are given the opposite of that too.
Yeah,
It's like,
narcolepsy is probably a good episode too.
yeah. Okay. I'll put that in.
Yeah. So then it can also treat obesity because a lot of these amphetamines have the side effect of lowering your appetite. So it can treat obesity, but they can also be addictive and dangerous if misused and taken in high doses. That's why they are controlled substances and they're actually like hacking down like pretty bad on these stimulants.
Yeah.
Some common brand names for amphetamines include
Adderall.
Concerta, Dexedrine, and Vyvanse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'll just talk hypnosis because I feel like you talked a lot in the other one.
Please.
Yeah,
please give me a break.
So hypnosis was also used. Okay, I find hypnosis very interesting.
Super interesting.
I'm not sure if I believe it.
That's the thing. Like,
but I do feel like there are people that have a gift of tapping into someone's brain space.
And I've heard of all these cases of like even simple things, not simple, that's wrong terminology, but like things that you wouldn't think of, like smoking cessation.
Yeah.
And then they go to a hypnotist and apparently.
No, there's actually a lot of success with that.
Right. And it was another podcast and they had mentioned it.
Doesn't work for everyone, but it does work for some people.
Exactly. But at least a story that I heard in a different podcast was that the host's mom, she had like really big time, like smoking a pack a day or whatever, and went to a hypnotist.
It's nothing. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's so bad. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, for me, non-smoker, to me, that's like wow.
Yeah,
But anyway, so it went to a hypnotist, and what they were able to do, at least the hypnotist, was it was pretty much like a railroad. Instead of going towards the pack a day, it was every time you feel like you're gonna smoke, drink a bottle of water.
Yeah,
and that's what they ended up doing. And now she's like, every time I go into the my mom's car, there's just water everywhere, like water bottles everywhere. Because it like she's become, instead of addicted to smoking, now it's addicted to like water. It just like shifts. Like it shifted that, which I get it. Like you're not really tackling the addiction, but honestly, being addicted to water is way better than being addicted to cigarettes. So I mean, if it's something quick like that, because apparently it works really quick.
Yeah.
I'm like.
I mean, people relive past traumas.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane how they're able to tap into that.
Yeah. So I feel like if you without hypnotism, right, are able to relive a past trauma or have a flashback or have an anxiety attack or something, there is potential to tap in, because if that comes out on its own, why is it that we cannot tap into that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
fascinating.
So that's why it is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think the reason why I'm so hesitant to believe it, because it's like I'm such a logical science, like
you're a doctor, of course. You have to look at it in that way.
Exactly. That I want like concrete evidence.
Tangible.
Exactly. Yeah. But there isn't enough. But then I'm like,
but then you hear these cases and you're like,
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I understand exactly what you mean, but it's really like you hear those cases, exactly that to me, I go through TikTok rabbit holes down on that.
Yeah.
And it's just like traumas or like accidents, like car accidents, you know, how you black out.
You black out, yeah.
Or like childhood traumas, you know,
that
that
you just
could
totally forget about.
Yeah, and then they're able to like bring that out.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
it's
why
insane.
they say that people that faint on sight of blood
Oh.
is a primitive reflex.
Huh.
So you see blood, and that apparently triggers a primitive part of your brain where they're like, that's not supposed to happen. So
Yeah.
your brain just clocks out.
That's it. Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so hypnosis. Okay, so according to MKUltra documents that were made public, they investigated hypnosis in the early 1950s. They aimed to create anxieties triggered by hypnosis, quote unquote, enhance learning and memory of complicated written materials through hypnosis, examine the connection between hypnosis and a lie detector test, quote unquote, improve observation and recall physical objects, complex configurations under hypnosis, and explore how personality affects that is a long ass word. Affects hypnotizability.
The ability to be hypnotized.
Hypnotizability. There we go. It only took me like 3 times.
I would have not been able, period.
So they also experimented with hypnosis induced by drugs and with memory loss before and after events while on such drugs. Okay. So there are many factors of MKUltra, but for the sake of this episode, we're just going to stick to the medical aspects of it, such as drugs, medical effects, and medical procedures conducted on individuals being tested.
Yeah, because I mean, when I started looking into hypnosis, it took me down like a different path, and it was no longer like really medically relevant. So I'm like, okay, hold on.
We'll
I
put it
know,
there.
yeah, I know you guys want to know more about that. Go. I really, really encourage you guys to look into it. Of course, I will always be like listing down the show, in the show notes, all of my sources for this. I'm surprised that didn't come out.
I know.
Sources for it. But definitely take a trip down that route. But we're gonna just stick to the medicine here. But yeah, because of that, we're going to go to even darker moments right now, but here we go. So that's from MKUltra, because obviously with all this experimentation, there had to be, deaths. So considering the CIA's deliberate destruction of most records, their failure to adhere to informed consent procedures with thousands of participants, the unregulated nature of the experiments, and the absence of follow-up data, the complete impact of MKUltra experiments, including fatalities, may forever remain shrouded in uncertainty. Yeah. Among the undocumented deaths associated with Project MKUltra, the most notable is that of Frank Olson. So we kind of briefly touched upon him earlier today. So Olson was a biochemist and biological weapons researcher in the United States Army, unwillingly received LSD during a CIA experiment in November 1953. Tragically, he fell from a 13th story window. Isn't that poetic? The 13th floor? 13-story window and died a week later. The CIA doctor assigned to monitor Olson claimed to have been asleep in another bed in a New York City hotel room when the fatal accident occurred. Initially in 1953, Olson's death was classified as a suicide during a severe psychotic episode.
I wonder why. Why was he having a psychotic episode? Oh, I don't know. They just dosed him with the LSD.
Yeah, it's not the LSD.
Yeah.
However, the CIA's internal investigation revealed that the head of MKUltra, CIA chemist Sidney Gottlieb, had administered the LSD experiment without Olson's prior knowledge. Remarkably, neither Olson nor the other participants were informed of the drug's exact nature until approximately 20 minutes after ingestion. Here, just take that. And then right after it, it's like, by the way, this could happen.
Can you imagine?
The fuck?
You take a medicine and then you're just like chilling, like waiting, like
Gottlieb.
I feel a little bit weird. And then someone's like, okay, you might
By the way,
see sounds and hear colors. And I bet the person's like, I'm sorry, what?
what? You said that wrong, right? No. I said exactly how it sounded. Anyway. So the report further suggested that Gottlieb, again with this wonderful human being, deserved a reprimand for failing to consider Olson's pre-existing suicidal tendencies. So this person knew that this person was suicidal, and so was... oh, come on. Anyway, which might have been exacerbated by the LSD exposure. So the Olson family challenges the official account of events, asserting that Frank Olson was deliberately killed. Yeah.
I can agree.
I have to side with the family here. Okay. So his exposure to LSD played a pivotal role, rendering him a security risk who might disclose classified state secrets related to highly sensitive CIA programs. So obviously that was a problem for the CIA. Olson's direct personal knowledge of these programs heightened the perceived threat. In the days leading up to his death, Frank Olson resigned from his position as acting chief of the Special Operations Division at Detrick, Maryland, later Fort Derrick. His decision stemmed from a profound moral crisis triggered by the nature of his biological weapons research. Among his concerns were the development of assassination materials employed by the CIA, the covert use of biological warfare substances, experimentation with biological weapons in populated areas, collaboration with former Nazi scientists through Operation Paperclip, LSD-based mind control investigations, and administration of psychoactive drugs during terminal interrogations under the clandestine program known as Project Artichoke. And there were probably many more projects like Project Guava and so on and so forth that we will probably never know, thankfully or not thankfully, however you want to see that. Go ahead. Yeah, because Jesus.
All right, so subsequent forensic contradicted the official narrative. So when Frank Olson's body was exhumed, literally dug up, okay, in 1994, cranial injuries indicated that he had been rendered unconscious before exiting the window, okay? The medical examiner classified Olson's death as a homicide and not a suicide. So,
I promise I didn't dose you with LSD.
Got a little excited. All right. So in 1975, the Olson family received a $750,000 settlement. Not enough money.
No.
From the U.S. government and formal apologies from President Gerald Ford and the CIA Director William Colby. However, these apologies were confined to informed consent issues related to Olson's unwilling ingestion of LSD. On November 28, 2012, the Olson family filed a lawsuit against the U.S. federal government for Frank Olson's wrongful death. The case was ultimately dismissed in July 2013, partly due to the 1976 settlement between the family and the government. In the decision to dismiss the suit, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg noted, quote, "While the court must limit its analysis to the four corners of the complaint, the skeptical reader may wish to know that the public record supports many of the allegations in the family's suit, far-fetched they may sound. Additionally, a book that was published in 2010, alleged that the 1951 Point Saint Esprit mass poisoning." Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
Point, not point. It's Point Saint. That's a French for sure. Like Point Saint Esprit.
Point Saint.
Point Saint.
Yeah.
Esprit. All right, I'm going to say it like an American. Pont Saint Esprit, okay? Mass poisoning was linked to MK Delta, not Ultra, okay? Implicating Olson and suggesting that he was eventually murdered by the CIA. Earlier academic sources had attributed the incident to ergot poisoning from a local bakery. So,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, local bakery.
MK Delta...
Girl, I'm telling you, I had a hard time limiting this episode. Like, I could have made this a three-parter.
Yeah.
You know? But no, I had, I just, Julie, just stick to
because we're sticking to the medicine
Stick
part
to the
of it.
medicine. But still, I could have still,
gone down a rabbit hole.
I just, summarized the hypnosis part, the LSD part. Like, there were so many things. And then I had to talk about Frank Olson because that was, it was an example. Like, it was because they did those things that they did to Frank Olson, which was a doctor, a scientist, he was a leader he might have allegedly, maybe not, I don't know, we're not sure, was the leader or linked to MK Delta. So a whole different thing in a poisoning of a whole freaking town or whatever it was. And they freaking killed the guy.
Yeah.
So if they just oh yeah, he's a threat, off with his head.
Yeah.
What makes you think what they did to just all these other ones, like all these other people, these poor subjects that they just plucked out of nowhere, or they plucked from prisons or from mental institutions, or they were from
Didn't have family.
Yeah,
Who
prisoners
knows?
of war. All these people. So if they were able to do that to somebody that worked for them, imagine what they did to, you know, people that they had even less, you know, contact with.
Yep.
So it was just like a really good spotlight, and they actually had information on him, because unfortunately, since a lot of the documents, the CIA just got rid of it, you know, there's very little information out there. You know, of course you could go down rabbit holes and whatever, but like official information on subjects tested, there's very little of it. But of course, Frank Olson was a scientist, a doctor. He was part of a lot of things. He was part of the CIA and all that stuff. There's more actual official documentation on him. So it was, you know, the family pursued it, and rightfully so. You know, it was. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had been sitting on this one for a bit because it was, again, a hard one to like try to limit, but it was one. We love Stranger Things.
I know.
I'm very interested in all this type of stuff. And there was so much medicine behind it. I mean, it's all medical experimentation, what they were doing, you know, to these people. So we had to talk about it, and we hope you like it. And thank you for being patrons. You guys are the MVPs. We're here because of you guys.
Yes, you are.
So thank you. Keep supporting us. We'll keep producing these. And if you got any other
suggestions, not recommendations. God, the doctor brain in me is just
it's firing on all cylinders today.
Really hitting today. If you have any requests,
please let us know, because you guys are the MVPs, and we will just put it right up there. in the list of things that we want to produce out there for you guys. So we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.